was your favorite thing to do when you were younger?
I was a big comic book collector. You know, every Thursday when the new comics came out at Kamikaze, I would just go and buy issues from whatever series I was collecting. And then I'd go home and I'd lay them all out on the floor in my room. And I would just read through them, one after another. Bang, bang, bang. And when I was done, I felt full, like I had just eaten a really great meal. Yeah, comics were my nutrition. And my religion.
Where was your favorite place to hide?
Under my bed.
What's your best childhood memory?
My best childhood memory is this dream I used to have a lot. It was a flying dream, and it would always start off the same. I'd be walking around in my neighborhood, and then all of a sudden it would dawn on me that I could fly, and that I always forgot. And when I remembered that I always forgot, I also remembered how easy it was for me to fly. All I had to do was walk really, really fast and just extend my arms. And just like that, I would be soaring above the roofs of houses and looking down at my neighbors. It was just the most incredible feeling in the world. I've never experienced anything like that in real life, not even through drugs.
What's your worst childhood memory?
My father beating the shit out of my mother, and her screaming for help, and me just doing nothing. That's a bad memory just stuck on repeat, you know?
What's your first conscious memory?
I'm not sure. Maybe it was my mother's face just hovering above me. Like a big, warm, skin-smelling moon.
Can you tell us a story that best exemplifies the spirit of your childhood?
Me being alone in my room with my comic books and my books and my music. I mean, outside my room was that war zone where my mother and father just tore each other to pieces, you know? I mean, everywhere in the house was a war zone except my room. That was the safe space. Or at least it was safer than anywhere else in the house. My story is that I wanted to kill my father, save my mother. And because I couldn't do either one of those things, Spider-Man, Nancy Drew, and Wonder Woman became my family. End of story.
What was your favorite thing to do when you were younger?
Setting up obstacle courses in my backyard. I'd create all these different designs for my little brother and I, and we could create them for hours. We never got bored of it.
Where was your favorite place to hide?
I don't remember hiding much.
What is your best childhood memory?
Okay, it's gotta be whenever I hit a 3-run homer for the Little League World Series. I was king for a day. That was pretty fucking awesome.
What's your worst childhood memory?
When I was in 5th grade, I found out that my girlfriend Nicole and my best friend Anthony had been cheating on me. Nicole was my first ever girlfriend, and I was just crazy about her at the time. She had these, especially her eyes and her hair. She had these blue eyes and this long blonde hair she'd let me brush. Anyways, that thing between her and Anthony, it crushed me. I was devastated.
What's your first conscious memory?
I don't know. My mother vacuuming the living room. Well, it's the sound of the vacuum cleaner that I remember the most. I'm pretty sure it wasn't my dad vacuuming, and if it wasn't my mom, then I'm not sure.
Tell us a story that best exemplifies the spirit of your childhood.
My dad was a driver for Pepsi, and on my days off from school, sometimes he'd take me on his routes with him. And so we'd get up really early, around 5 in the morning, and my mother would cook us breakfast, and then we'd take the car down to the depot and get a truck, and we'd spend the rest of the day delivering kegs and crates of Pepsi to stores and businesses around the town. And I really feel like this represents my childhood because I always wanted to be his little helper, and I was always looking forwards to it. And I feel like waiting for the good times and special times in your childhood, that was often better for me than the actual good times or special times themselves. Or at least that's how I think about it now. I'm not sure how I thought about it then. Maybe I thought differently. Are we done?
What was your favorite thing to do when growing up?
Oh, I used to love to dress up in my dad's clothes, you know, especially the nice ones. I'd put on his big sport coat and his white button-up shirt and his tie and his slacks. And I'd walk around the house, you know, pretending like I was some, I don't know, powerful businessman or something. And my parents would get a kick out of it, you know, and take pictures and stuff.
Where was your favorite place to hide?
Like in hide and seek?
No, just in general.
I don't know. I guess I used to lock myself in the bathroom a bit. I don't know if that counts as hiding or not, but I spent a lot of time in there.
What's your best childhood memory?
My first kiss, first grade, Marty Jenkins. What's so great about it was that he had kissed me on the cheek, you know. I guess because I was being nice to him or something, I don't know. And I surprised him by kissing him on the lips, and he looked so shocked, like I had just smacked him or bit him or something. His face was like, and it's just, I don't know if that was my best childhood memory, but it was the first one that came to mind.
What's your worst childhood memory?
Oh, when my parents told me they were getting divorced. I was 8, I think.
What's your first conscious memory?
I remember looking at these toy soldiers march around my bedroom floor. I could see them through the slits in my crib, you know, and they were marching around in circles like they were doing some drill or something. And I remember I was so terrified that they would climb up into my crib and I couldn't fight them off and there'd be no one there to help me.
Tell us a story that best exemplifies the spirit of your childhood.
The spirit of my childhood? I guess there was this one time my family took me to the beach, and I guess I had swum pretty far out, and there was this jellyfish next to me, and I had never seen one before, and it was just so mesmerizing, you know? It was just like this pink floating blob, like a cloud. And the next thing I knew, there was this shooting pain going up my leg, and it had stung me, and I was just screaming my head off, just screaming. And yeah, I guess that kind of is the spirit of my childhood.
was your favorite thing to do when you were younger?
That's an easy one for me. Play my Fisher-Price xylophone. It's actually still one of my favorite things to do.
Where was your favorite place to hide?
Inside music, I guess.
What is your best childhood memory?
I sang at this recital. I must have been 9 or 10, and I sang Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. I brought down the fucking house. The applause went way deep down inside me, and after that I was hooked on performing.
What is your worst childhood memory?
There was that time my mom got arrested for shoplifting. It was at a fucking Macy's, of all places. And I was with her. She got cuffed and taken away by police. And everyone was looking at us. Then the time that I came home from school, my aunt was there, but not my mother. She told me I'd be staying with her for a little bit. She wouldn't tell me why, though. But later, I listened in on a conversation my aunt was having with my other aunt, and I found out my mom was arrested for possession of narcotics. And I could think of plenty other bad childhood memories, but it's a tie between those two.
What is your first conscious memory?
It's a pretty weirdly fucking specific question. I don't know. Getting my diaper changed.
Tell us a story that best exemplifies the spirit of your childhood.
One story. Well, I told you about the recital and how that was one of my best memories. And then I told you about my mother getting arrested and how that was one of my worst. Well, the arrest happened 2 days after the recital. And that's how I think of my childhood. Swings. Rapid, unpredictable, motherfucking swings.
What was your favorite thing to do when you were younger?
Mind if I smoke?
No smoking.
I loved playing hide and go seek with my friend Trish. That feeling of hiding, not getting found, not coming out.
What do you mean, not coming out?
I could stay hidden for as long as I could. Even when Trish would say, "Mandy, I give up, where are you?" I'd stay hidden. I'd stay hidden because I was so disciplined.
Where was your favorite place to hide?
First star to the left, north of the moon. There was a special pocket there just for me.
What's your best childhood memory?
First star to the left, north of the moon. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, what's your best childhood memory?
What's your worst childhood memory?
Worst. The day my cat died. Does that sound stupid? Someone's cat dying being the worst memory they have? I guess I could pretend my mom and dad died in a car wreck and I got sent to an orphanage, but that didn't happen. No, my cat, Mr. Frickin' Whiskers, died. That happened.
What's your first conscious memory?
That's a good question. My first conscious memory, I got a very, very high fever. My mom stuck me in an ice cold frickin' bath. It felt like needles.
Tell us a story that best exemplifies the spirit of your childhood.
Gotta go back to that hide and go seek thing. There was this one time I hid behind some garbage cans, right? It was so hot out and the garbage started to stink, and I didn't care. I stayed out there. For 1 whole hour I stayed out there, and Trish started freaking out. She thought I disappeared. Maybe I did disappear. I thought I was pretty cool. I was pretty proud of myself. Amanda, the vanishing girl, they said.